Good morning. Today you find me in the Peak District on the borders between Staffordshire and Derbyshire, where I'm going to go on a 26-mile hike. It's Sunday the 18th of May 2025 and I'm taking part in the Leaden Boot challenge organised by the village of Alstonefield. It's 26.7 miles, 43 kilometres with over 4,700 feet. That's about 1,440 metres of ascent. And it's a beautiful hilly walking challenge in Derbyshire, originally designed as a local fundraiser to repair the church roof when thieves stole the lead off the top, hence the name Leaden Boot Challenge. It was started in 2010 and since then it's raised over £60,000 for local causes. So it's a circular clockwise route with 7 different checkpoints, so hopefully I'm going to video this in those different chunks. We've got a dibber that we check into at every checkpoint, and at the end we swap it for a hot meal. Always nice when the locals come out to meet us. Today I want to do a long workout, so everything heads towards the ultra, so I want to do heart rate 1 and 2 workout to really test the endurance, test my shoes, train my mind to be out for 8 or 9 hours and test the poles. So I intend to walk the ups and really enjoy the countryside. That's what today's all about, and jog the downs, and I'd like to finish about 8 hours, something like that. So we kicked off at 9, all done by 5, in the pub by 7. This is our first look at the River Dove, after which Dovedale is named. And this is the Viator Bridge, medieval packhorse bridge. Been going for hundreds of years, and the packhorses used to come across this carrying flax and silk and other lovely textiles. And now we go up. I'm going to have to stop taking so much footage, but goodness me, that is beautiful, isn't it? This first section is just a short 2-mile hop to the first checkpoint. I guess that's just to make sure everybody's still okay. And it's basically a steep down, steep up. Those caves are called Dove Holes. This is the River Dove, after which Dovedale is named. And we're now about to go up to the top. And get some fabulous views looking down here. So this section we came in at Dove Holes. And we're going up to the top and we'll get some hopefully lovely views. I've just been told this is the steepest climb, not the longest or the hardest, but the steepest. And then we head back down to a place called Ilam, where we leave the Dove and join the Manifold River. Anti-sweat device on. Sadly no great views, but you can see just how far we've come from, because we came from the river down at the bottom of that valley. Let's get going. That was quite the downhill knee busting, quad busting challenge, but very nice. I need to do a few of those. 1, because it's good practice. 2, it strengthens my quads. 3, I need to find out if my legs are still there at the end of this, because if they're not, then I need to not do that on future endurance runs. But right now that felt all right, and lovely to get the blood flowing a bit. Ilam Church here, whilst it's been rebuilt and modernised many times over the centuries, still has an Anglo-Saxon font in it.
Food and drink to your left. Food and drink to your left.
Thank you. So Ilam Hall there was a Victorian manor house built at great expense and lived in for decades, and then after various changes in ownership it was bought by somebody in about 1930 who decided to turn it into a hotel, and got the business plan completely wrong, and just 2 years later it was sold for demolition. About 2/3 of it was demolished, but what was left was bought, and then, I can't remember the name of the guy, was bought and then given to the National Trust on the condition that it was a youth hostel. So that is one of the finest youth hostels. I think I stayed there when I did a hang gliding holiday back in the 90s. Yeah, I did some odd things back then. So after a couple of miles in Derbyshire, we're now back in Staffordshire. And this section is about a 3-mile long climb following the manifold all the way to Calton. The smell of the wild garlic is extraordinary. So just hit about 8.5 miles, it's checkpoint 3. We've just bipped in with our dippers. Thank you. Let me show you what we've got. So I've just feasted on some rocky road, which is delicious. Got some wonderful views over the Manifold Valley, which is the River Manifold is down there. So now we've got a steady old down to take us to the river, and then back up again pretty much straight ahead of where you can see, and then we go up the other side to a place called Grindon, which will be mile 12. It is a lovely day. It's pretty fantastic, isn't it? I might even run a bit. We're 9 miles in and we're just under 3 hours. We're on track to finish in 9 hours. Hopefully we can be done a bit quicker. I'm going to try and jog more of the downs, but I also need to be very circumspect. This is not a race, this is not a running marathon. This is a training day. That building is the ruins of Throwley Hall, a castle that was built in 1503. 1503. So I wasn't going to shoot any more just now, but as I walk over here, this is what it's all about. Beautiful, healthy looking sheep and lambs, lovely native English trees, every shade of green you can imagine with the blossoms coming out. Lonely walkers picking their way across the countryside, and up there on the top, I don't know if you can see it, there's a farmer cutting what is probably silage. I feel like Julie Andrews should come bounding over the horizon at me. Just look at all the blossom. Oh, it's getting steeper. Might have to concentrate. You can see the limestone cliffs there. That's the river Manifold carving its way through the limestone landscape. Manifold called that because of its many folds, because of its meandering nature. So this is the river Manifold. Where's the river? Well, in dry times of the year, dry times like now, it's actually underground. You know, limestone is porous, and it's only when the underground aquifers fill up that you see it on the surface in places. So yeah, that's the river. We're now going up a hill. There are various paths around here called the Manifold Wave, Manifold Trail. There's in fact about an 8-mile trail that you can go on, some suitable for walkers, some horse riders or cyclists, but it's worth looking on a map because there's some lovely stuff. About 12 miles, I think. So here we go, that was checkpoint 4, about 12 miles in. We've now got about 4.5 miles to go to the next one. Might have had a lovely piece of ginger cake and another couple hundred mils of water. And we've now got a down, an up and a down. So we're going to go back down to the Manifold River and then back up over a mountain called Sugarloaf before then heading down again past a place called Ecton to the river again, where there's some mining activity I'm going to tell you about. So there's quite this church steeple there. Let me just go over this cattle grid. That steeple looks as tall as the tower itself. Wow, that's some statement, isn't it? I need to check what that was, but I just saw a bird. It was a bit like a flattened version of something like a great tit or a long-tailed tit. The tail was really quite red and it had a black bit by its eye. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, here they are. Look, they're so lovely.
It's amazing, aren't they?
They are.
So back down on the Manifold River. Haven't really talked about geology here. So around here there's a lot of limestone, I mentioned that before. And so you get these deep valleys that have been cut by the rivers. Limestone being soft and porous. We heard all about that at the Cheddar Gorge run that I did a couple of years ago. About how a lot of the water goes underground, flows through the limestone, and as it flows through the limestone it can create these underground caves. There's quite a lot of caves around here, just have to look at the map and you'll see them all picked out. There's one called Thor's Cave that we ran past at the last checkpoint. We certainly ran past a footpath to it. There's also quite a lot of mines around here because deep within the limestone and underneath that there are some very valuable metals. So traditionally around here you get tin mines, zinc mines, but the mines around here at Ecton are important because they're copper, which is rare. Now, regular viewers will know, because I talk about it all the time, that the Bronze Age was earlier in time than the Iron Age. That the Bronze Age was maybe 3,500 years ago. Iron Age maybe only 2,000 years ago. So bronze is a much nicer metal. It's brighter, it's harder, you can make finer implements and jewellery out of it. So why was that made first, and then iron, which is cruder, less good at making weapons, if anything, why did that come afterwards? You'd have thought that they would have worked with iron and then they'd have got clever and created bronze. Well, actually, bronze, they found, was an alloy of copper and tin. And the problem was that copper is rare. So they couldn't find a lot of copper, therefore they couldn't make a lot of bronze. They could find a lot of iron, so they made a lot of iron. So that's why the Iron Age kind of came about afterwards, because it was all those parts of the country where they couldn't find copper, but they could find iron. 16 miles done, Cowlow Barns.
Yeah, I went a bit at Grindon, but I didn't see them.
Yay! Well done, guys, keep going. Hello, boys. I know some people would be put off by this. How are we all doing? Are we happy? We all good? Well done. You're looking lovely, Upsy Daisy. Well done, you. The old calves and quads are quite tight, which is why I didn't run any of that last section, but we'll take it nice and steady. And that'll take us up to about 19 miles. It's hard bending down now, or harder. It's never easy. Hopefully heading down to the 20-mile checkpoint pretty soon at Pillsbury. Mind the mud. Just had a chat with a poor lass who's got an upset tummy and don't want to eat anything, not sure whether she should drink anything. Mood's going, still got 7 miles to go, so really feeling quite sorry for herself. It was a shame there's nothing I could do. I had water and snacks and poles I could have lent her, but nothing would have worked in that situation. So, nice bit of cake, another 200 mils of water, checkpoint 6, 20 miles done, less than 10k to go, the man said. So we're now back into Derbyshire for the next couple of miles. We're heading south, turning south, so we will be shortly, so heading back home. So now we're going to go away up there. And I think they're disused lead mines. What a beautiful valley. Oh, beautiful on a day like today, I'm sure. When it's teeming with rain, it's a different prospect. I wonder if these are what remains of lead workings. It's the stiles around here are hefty, huge steps, look. imagine there's a few people who won't be wanting to walk up and over those. Final checkpoint, some delicious flapjack. I managed to get a crispy bit. Another drink of water, less than 3 miles to go.
No, not now. We've got...
This whole event has been really well organised. Only 30 quid a ticket, which is brilliant. For a marathon distance hike, 7 checkpoints. Water and nice food, every one of them. I think bar one. And you know, homemade flapjacks and ginger cake and those kind of things as well. There's jelly babies, pretzels, that kind of nonsense. So what I've done is I've had a little bit of flapjack or a little bit of ginger cake or whatever at each one of those, and I've made sure I've had 200 mils of water. There's also been juice and things like that. Where am I going? Straight across. Yeah, and I also brought food with me, so I've got my usual Snickers and things. And after we got past, I don't know, 2/3 distance, I've been having one of those. Well, certainly the middle bit, I had one of those between each checkpoint as well, because some of those checkpoints are like 4.5 miles apart, which means that's possibly an hour and a half. With hills in it, and a little piece of flapjack isn't necessarily enough. So these checkpoints, there's only 3 miles, 5k between each one, so maybe an hour, and so I haven't needed to eat so much. So I've still got water in my pack, I've still got snacks in here if I need them, or if I want to share with anybody else. I've still got emergency jelly babies, so oh, mind your ankle. This has been a really good run. "24 miles done." There's the river dove, a couple of duckies on it, a couple of mallards. So here we go, final gentle uphill with Narrowdale Hill on the left and Grattan Hill on the right. And there's people ahead of me, which makes the competitive side say, why don't you try and chase them down? Because I'm knackered, that's why. That's where we come from. Hear the mew of the buzzard, the sheep, the lambs. Bloody lovely, isn't it? I love the countryside. Here we go.
Hold on, mate, hold on.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, have you done it? Are you bleeping? I'm not sure.
Not yet.
Yeah,
no, I am.
now.
So there we are in all my excitement of tucking into my jacket potato with chilli and cheese. I forgot to say anything about the run itself. It was a great run, really enjoyed it, highly recommend it. You can walk it, you can run it. I think the winners were just over 4 hours, which is quite extraordinary for those hills. 4,700 feet I think it was in the end, according to Garmin. So 1.5 Snowdons plus just over 26.5 miles, 43 kilometers. So amazing, really enjoyed it. Just over 8 hours, 8 hours 2 minutes was my certificate time. Actual moving time was slightly under 8 hours, so perfect, exactly what I wanted to do. Heart rate was in zone 1 for about 3 hours, so that's tremendous. It meant I wasn't exhausted. Having not been exhausted though, my quads and I have not been on speaking terms this week. DOMS came in and lasted for about 5 days. Today is the Saturday, so 6 days afterwards, and I will go for a run today. I did try a 5k earlier in the week, but every step was uncomfortable. Not impossible, but uncomfortable. So today I'm going to try a gentle run and we should be okay. I can't stop running because the next thing that's coming up, of course, is I think it's the 14th of June. You'll find me on the West Wales coast, where I'm doing 22 miles of the Pembrokeshire Coast Path. I'd love you to join me for that one. And that all leads up, of course, to I think it's the 13th of July, when I will be doing Race to the Stones Day 2, 31 and a bit miles, 50 kilometres across central England on the Ridgeway Path, ending at Avebury Standing Stone Circles. So thanks ever so much for joining me. If you've liked it, give it a thumbs up. That helps YouTube share it with other runners and makes me happy. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you very soon. So take care now, enjoy your running. Ta-da.